Okay, I know what to ask. You ready? Ready, Steve? I need you to help me make good.
You good.
Good podcast host.
You make me.
I'm sorry. All right.
You race ski. You good.
I think this is going to be fun to edit, Chris. I tell you what. Welcome to OverHerd at Deer Valley. I'm your host, Kaylin Richardson. I'm a two-time Olympian pro skier, and for the past 10 years, I've called Deer Valley my home. Here, I'm going to talk to different heroes, leaders, and characters about what they believe makes the Deer Valley difference. Today, we are going to get the inside scoop on the ambitious and extensive expansion here at Deer Valley. This project is going to more than double the size of the resort, adding 3,700 skiable acres, 16 new chairlifts, a new village, and enhanced snowmaking systems, plus much more. And the person that's overseeing it all, ensuring that the hallmark excellence that Deer Valley is known for is paramount throughout, is none other than Vice President of Mountain Operations, Steve Graff. Steve, I know that you might be the busiest person on the mountain right now, so thank you so much for meeting me. I want to get to this huge development because it's been the talk of the town since it's been announced. But first, this is your 30th season here.
30 years at Deer Valley, that's correct, yeah.
That is so cool and very impressive, but I have to ask, what has kept you here? What keeps it fresh? What keeps you excited about being here at Deer Valley?
You know, I love the dynamic nature of mountains and ski resorts, and the people at Deer Valley, both the guests and the staff, are absolutely amazing. And it keeps me coming back, you know, year after year. And I'm blessed to be able to say that some of the best times of my life have actually been at work, which is a pretty incredible thing to be able to say.
That is so true. And that old adage that if you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life.
Very, very true.
And I feel the exact same way. My world is so full of gratitude because I get to ski for a living. How crazy is that, right?
Right? I get to ski for a living too.
It's the best, right? It's just the best. It just still, I just still sometimes pinch myself where I'm like, if I can still continue to milk this pro skier thing, I'm gonna continue as long as I can. So let's get to the big news.
Okay.
This is the biggest news basically since the inception of Deer Valley, because this is going to kind of, it's hard because Deer Valley is such a special place that I don't want to say that it is reimagining the resort, because we still want it to be and feel like Deer Valley, but kind of give me an overview of what all is going to take place.
Well, exactly. Reimagining the resort but we have to stay true to our founder's vision and what has made Deer Valley what Deer Valley is today, and the special place that it's been in the past, and how do we keep that moving forward is paramount in all of our discussions and planning and everything we're going to do. We are so incredibly excited about adding so much terrain and being able to grow Deer Valley with so much more to offer, and keeping the things that make Deer Valley special.
With the different phases, because I'm sure this is such a huge undertaking that it's not all going to happen overnight. It's going to take years. What's sort of the first phase? What's sort of the rollout of it?
So the first phase is going to be the biggest phase. We're going to roll out 10 lifts, just under 3,000 acres of terrain. And those will open in 25 and 26. So incredibly ambitious. You know, no other ski resort has expanded this much, and certainly not this fast. It's been 40 years since anyone's done anything this large.
You and I are skiers. Like you said, that first phase is all about the skiing, which I love.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm excited about. The other things, the new village, that's going to be amazing. Like the chairlifts, that's all cool, but the terrain, I think that I will say to the listeners that the person I see the most out and around the mountain, just in happenstance, is Steve. He is out there every single day. We both love to ski. Everything, groomers, powder, slush, crud, corn. What terrain are you the most excited about that's going to be opening up?
There's so many aspects of the terrain that we're opening up. You know, there's a beginner terrain, lower intermediate terrain. It's very much the same mix that current Deer Valley has. We're adding that, but I'm most excited about Chair 6 is the chair that's not going to be the name. That's just for our planning and building purposes. We've numbered them all, but they will all get names eventually. Just very, very long. The terrain that Chair 6 accesses is as big as X-Files, Daily Chutes, Daily Bowl, Empire Bowl, and Lady Morgan combined. So off of one chairlift, just a ton of terrain and very exciting. We're excited to open that up.
Where is Chair 6 going to be? Like, for those that know Deer Valley, I know that on a podcast we are limited, but where is that going to be sort of?
So if you're standing on the top of Bald Mountain and you look south, it's the next ridge over. Lot of north-facing terrain off of that and very long. The Chair 6 chairlift is going to be about 2.5 times longer than Sultan is today.
2.5 times longer.
Right.
I've heard rumors of a 5-mile-long run.
Pretty close. You probably heard those from marketing.
Well, still.
It's 4.7 miles, so very, very long beginner trail from the top of Bald Mountain to the bottom of our new Eastern Village. It's incredibly long. Deer Valley's current longest trail is 2.8 miles long.
Is that Jordanelle?
No, it's not a single trail. It actually, if you get off the top of Silver Strike Express or Northside Express and ski all the way to the base of Sultan, combination of multiple trails, that's our current longest trail.
Got it. That's amazing. And so we're talking 4.7 miles of skiing, all this new terrain, 4 new peaks, correct?
Yes.
And so if Chair 6 goes to the top of Bald Mountain, does that count as one of the new peaks, or is it going to be for an addition to that Chair 6 vast area?
So Chair 6 goes to the top of Park Peak, which is the peak just southwest of Bald Mountain. The highest, well, not the highest peak that we're going to open 25, 26, but then we're going to go to South Peak, which is another peak further to the south as part of the expansion.
It's hard for me to even just, what's so cool about it is when I've been on the top of Balds, when I've been on the top of like Little Baldy, I look out and I see that terrain and I go, that looks pretty great. And now it's going to be part of Deer Valley. Yeah. And so of the run innovations and the different chairlifts, what are you most excited about that is going to be sort of cutting edge as far as ski resort technology?
Well, I'm in the midst of it right now and working closely with our parent company in Altera and lift manufacturers, Doppelmayr and Palma, and snowmaking manufacturers, quite a few of them, HKD and SMI, and a bunch of different manufacturers. And it's so incredibly exciting. Instead of doing one run or one lift or one pod even, that our expansion is so big that it's really like a resort expansion and building a resort with the latest in technology, both in lift manufacturing technology, but snow guns, and just incredibly excited to be able to be part of that.
You're right. It's basically like building a whole nother resort from the bottom up. Yeah,
what we're adding on is bigger than current day Deer Valley. So yeah, it's like building another resort on and bolting them the two together and making it one.
And this is your baby. So this is make or break, Steve. Like, if it's amazing, it's all on you.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm sure it is. I have absolutely no doubt, because everything that Deer Valley does has such a high level of execution and attention to detail. What is the largest challenge with that big of an undertaking to help it remain the Deer Valley quality?
Yeah, staffing and training our staff. Deer Valley spends a lot of time, energy, and effort, recruiting, hiring, and training our staff. Our staffing levels are much greater than most resorts, and that's where we get that level of service. And we want to continue that in our expanded terrain. So with that, on my team, Mountain Operations, we're starting this year. Ski Patrol is going to start going out there, snowmaking, grooming, and we're going to start practicing on some of these areas so that we have a couple of winters to do this before we actually open it for the public. That's
so smart. And I feel like a lot of resorts wouldn't necessarily do that, because that takes time and money, but you want to make sure that when we open up that terrain and open up this whole new resort within a resort, that it is up to par with what people expect from Deer Valley.
Right, that's our intention. That's the goal, is that it is going to be Deer Valley. It's just going to be an expanded Deer Valley.
Oh, because you want to know what's better than Deer Valley? More Deer Valley.
More Deer Valley.
Oh, that makes me so happy. And as far as that, we keep our skier numbers down. Will that continue with this huge amount of terrain? Will the percentage still be the same per acre? How does that work, sort of?
Yeah, so Deer Valley skier capacity has never been matched to the mechanical capacity, our uphill capacity of our chairlifts, it's always been matched to the experience. And our current capacity is much smaller than the physical capacity at the resort, and we're going to continue that. But the reality is that it took us 40 years to get to the skier numbers that we're at today. And when you double the amount of terrain, we're not going to double the amount of skiers, and there's no intention to double the amount of skiers. So that's one of the things I'm most excited about is Deer Valley, living up to that uncrowded experience. And when you add on as much as we're going to add on, it's definitely going to be an uncrowded experience.
And there's going to be so much to discover.
Oh,
I've been here, this will be my 10th season, not 30, but 10. And 10 still feels like a lot to me. And each season, I still find new zones. I still do. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds really great, and I'm not trying to upsell people on me taking them skiing, but even last year, I found this little spot off of Rattler where I said, I've never skied this little zone. And that's such a cool thing. And with more than twice as much terrain, I can't imagine how long it'll take me to find every nook and cranny over there.
Even in 30 years, I don't know that I've found every nook and cranny existing Deer Valley, but I better get on it because I don't have 30 more years to expand.
Steve, you do have 30 years. Come on.
I'm not going to work for 30 years.
Well, it's true, but you'll continue to ski. Fair. But I'd say, what I always say is if you use it, you don't lose it. And you use it every day. I love it too. And also, I look to people like you and I say, I want to be Steve Graff when I grow up. It's true. And also, I do want to talk about I do want to be you when I grow up. And now that I have 2 children, I see how you've raised your 2 daughters. And you've talked about it a bit because you're a proud mountain dad and they love to ski. And you've been able to create that love and sort of, without pushing it, they've kind of developed it on their own. Help me with that. I'm taking my 3-year-old out. She's been out the past 2 seasons, but it's quote unquote skiing. It's more me just holding her up and having a good time. She loves coming skiing, but this year I feel like she'll actually ski. What would be your advice to make her a lifelong skier with her mom?
So for me, I never pushed it too hard because it's supposed to be fun, and I never reacted to weather or any of those events. It was just we're going to go skiing, and sometimes it's a blizzard and sometimes it's sunny and warm, but it's always skiing and it's always fun. And dress them appropriately, and it doesn't take much longer than after 3, by 5 or 6 that they understand that, we're going skiing. And it's easy to show people to love skiing. It's not hard.
I think that's why you've been here for 30 years, because I think some people don't think it's as easy, but people like you and me, it is where we're meant to be. And speaking to our kids, you have teenage daughters, I have young toddlers. We want them to be able to ski for a very, very long time. And a big part of that is sustainability. And Deer Valley has kept that in the forefront. And I've heard that the new snowmaking systems are very state-of-the-art in that capacity. What are sort of the sustainability efforts, especially with this new expansion, but also with the current resort? What is going on in the mountain regarding that?
So sustainability is always what we're after as we modernize our snowmaking system. At the current resort, every year we invest millions of dollars in replacing pipe, and we generally replace outdated technology with more modern technology, low energy, high efficiency guns that we can produce as much snow with a lot less consumption of power. And being able to expand into this new terrain in such a big way, instead of doing it one ski run at a time, now we get to be able to do one resort at a time.
And I'm sure that's far more efficient because of the systems and how you can utilize and connect it all.
Yes, so
I sounded very scientific there, didn't I?
It was perfect. We're going to have hundreds of snow guns out there, largely air, water guns, fully automatic, so less reliance on staff. We still need the staff to go check and make sure, but we'll be able to turn the guns on as soon as the temperatures allow, what makes it a lot more efficient.
So 2 years from now when we're doing another episode together, you'll be able to take your app out and go, I'm going to start snowmaking right. It's 22 degrees now.
It won't even need me to do that. It'll do it on its own, and it'll send me a notification we've started snowmaking.
Because they're the temperature dropped enough and we're just doing it.
In each individual gun. And the water that we're getting for our expanded terrain comes from the Jordanelle Reservoir. And we take the water from there, put it up on the mountain, freeze it. And when it melts, it goes back to Jordanelle Reservoir. And snowmaking water is considered non-consumptive. And the 80 to 85% of it goes back to where it came from.
That's fantastic. And then we can swim and sail on it in the summertime.
Surf.
30 years. I am going to keep coming back to that. And does it seem like all the past 30 years has sort of prepared you for this big of a project? Like what's like, here's my question is, what have you learned? Like what of all that you were in ski patrol, now you've been head of mountain operations, you know this resort inside and out. What has been some of the biggest lessons that you've learned over this time that you're really bringing into this really huge undertaking?
I've learned the value of people and good people. I learn from my staff every single day. So, I think that's probably a big learning for me. And they all have love of the mountain and what we do and our teamwork and Deer Valley. So, spending 30 years on the mountain, I've gained a lot of knowledge, both winter and summer, and they all play in together, and it's a continuum, and it's been great to be part of it.
I'm going to talk like you're not sitting right next to me, and the fact that I want to say something that people will take home from this podcast is that the fact that you say that you learn from the people you work with, I think that is why you have been here for so long and are so beloved, and why you're so good at what you do. Because when you have a leader that listens to the people that they work with, that is what creates such a great environment and such a great place to be for the people that work here, for the people that visit, and for everyone involved with it. And so that's why I'm so excited about this expansion. And I'm so excited that you're at the helm with some other very impressive people, because I just know it's going to turn out so well.
Well, let's go check it out.
I would love to. The one thing that bums me out about this expansion, the only thing that bums me out about this expansion, is that I don't think I'm going to be able to run into you as often on the mountain, because there's just going to be so much more terrain. We're not going to just happen to cross paths in Silver Lake or up on Empire as often.
I haven't thought about it that way.
It's going to be more rare, but it'll be just sweeter when it happens.
Very good. Looking forward to it.
You make my job easy. I take people skiing at Deer Valley and they have the best day of their year. But now I want you to help me a little bit more. Where should I take people skiing this season? If you were to give me a little bit of insider knowledge. I said I haven't skied everywhere. Are you willing to give me a little secret right now that when I take someone out, a family, a corporate group, that I'll just dazzle them?
I can't give you secrets in a podcast.
You take me skiing and I won't share with the people on the podcast.
Follow the sun.
True, right? That sounds like something from The Mandalorian, or like, I don't know, Game of Thrones. Follow the sun. North facing, right?
It's
ski
hard.
north facing.
Well, no.
You know what? Actually, we should speak to this. You and I talked about this a lot this season. You want to go skiing? No, you don't. No, you don't. Skiing so well. Remember that chalk? Remember that?
Yes.
I remember when I saw you and I told you, I said, Steve, I just skied. No, you don't. And it was this beautiful chalk. And you're like, we totally geeked out. You're like, wasn't it so good? I'm like, it was the best skiing on the mountain.
Yeah, very, very cool.
When I get to the top of Carpenter and I see Magnet's been groomed, I like head there first thing unless it's a powder day.
Magnet is, especially on a sunny day, it gets the sun first. So by the time you get there, it's starting to soften up just a little bit.
Really, just those super D turns.
Lay it over. Yeah,
oh, it's so fun. Oh, skiing is so fun. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Steve, for taking time out of your incredibly busy schedule to talk with me. And thank you all for listening. This has been OverHerd at Deer Valley. We'll see you on the slopes. Can I get one of those hats? I really like them.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan.
That's recorded.
Couple hats.
Let the record show.
You got a couple words you want to share with us?
Let the record show Steve said he could get me one of those hats.
I'm keeping you guys caffeinated with coffee.
And my favorite about, oh my goodness. I'm going to get this time. With great, sorry. And with great snowmaking, I'm going to get it, I promise. There we go. And with great snowmaking, no. And I know what I'm saying. And you need great snowmaking to create great groomers. And we have, sorry guys. Oh, no, I'm going to get it. I got it. I almost got it.